Right. So I'm gonna do the first question, 2024, with you all. Then I'm gonna give you all 2023 to do by yourself. So who wants to do this question with my 2024? Actually, I think Desron should do it. Because Desron, and this is the exam you write.
Uh yeah, I think so.
Yes, and you wrote May, June 2024.
Oh yes, I did.
Yes, you did. So you will help me with this question, right?
Wait.
So we will see what happened in the exam, right?
Uh, yeah.
So we do everything that we could have done in vectors. Now we're gonna apply it. So give the question a read, Desron.
All right. In the Pentagon, in the Pentagon, OABCD. OA is parallel to DC. DC and AB. AB is parallel to OD.
Mhm.
OD equals 2AB and OA equals 2DC. Is
Right.
that to OA?
Hmm?
Any dashes to OA?
The dash? Yeah, that's what it means. You're going from O to A. So A
Yeah,
to O. I'm sorry, O to A is equal to A, and A to B is equal to
equal
small
to,
b. Now,
okay.
from the previous classes, if two vectors are parallel, that means they're pointing in the same. That's what D. If two vectors are parallel, they're pointing in the
Same direction?
same direction. Watch. Both of them pointing in the same direction, right?
Yeah,
But which one looking bigger? According to the information they gave us, they are saying that O to A is 2 times D to C. So that
yeah.
means O to A is how much times bigger than D to C?
It's 2 times bigger.
Okay, that's wrong. If if O to A is represented by common A, then what would this vector be? So if O to A, if O to A, this whole thing over here is vector A. What would half O to A be?
Um,
See if you can figure that out.
for OTA is
So O to A, that vector is E, common A. So what would the vector from D to C be? We know it's half of O to A. And what's the vector for O to A?
OTA, um, OTA,
O to A is equal to
equal to 2AB.
no. What
Oh,
is
come on, A. So,
right?
come on, A, sorry.
So O to A is that whole thing is A. So what would half of this vector be?
Um,
So
that is,
so O to A
like
is
A,
A,
like A minus,
no minus. D to C
uh,
is what of O to A?
half.
Half, right? So D to C, let me write that down. D to C is equal to half of O to A. What we know vector O to A is. Well, I could write
OTA,
O to A as.
OTA,
Remember,
right
what
there.
was O to A?
Um, I got that A.
Yeah. So D
Come
to
on,
C,
A.
so D to C, that is just a half A, right? So just like that, we figured out this vector. The vector for D to C is a half A. Is in the same direction. So look at it, right? it's in the same direction as O to A. It's just half the size. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Lovely. Um, Rihanna, you understand that?
Yeah.
Rihanna here.
Alicia, yeah, Rihanna, here. We'll catch up just
Yeah.
now. Alicia, Nicholas, Bryce, Kirsten, Haley. Let me know if you all understand that. So
Yeah.
I saying that O to A is the full distance, but D to C is half the distance. And they told me that any question. They said that O to A is two times D to C. Now both of them are parallel, so they're pointing in the same direction. It's just that this one is half of this vector. That's vector E. So D to C is half E. Cool. Um, let me call on somebody else now, right? Um, hmm. Who wanna volunteer? I want to figure out, I want to figure out what this vector is. Who wanna help me with that?
So me and Haley can help you.
All right, no problem. Let me hear. So Bryce and Haley, look at you. Is he
No,
same
just right.
or just Bryce?
Just right.
Haley, how you doing, man? Line up, boy. Haley, what you doing, man? You
That is okay. So Bryce,
the
what are they saying about what are they saying about O to A?
um
O to
that
A,
is 2DC.
okay. That one I need to do the question. Sorry about that. This one over here, O to D. What is O to
Oh,
D?
um, O to D is A to B. Well, two of A to B. Well,
Right.
half of one, yeah.
Now they're saying that they said that just by looking at it, do they look parallel?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do look
yeah.
parallel. If you recall, what did it say over here?
Um, AB is parallel to OD
All right, so if two vectors are parallel, that means they're pointing in the same
direction.
right. And you can see that they are pointing in the same direction. So how much ABs it would take to make one OD?
Two,
Two. So if A to B is just B, and remind me how much ABs it would take to make OD.
two,
So how I could write OD as? That's two what?
two AB.
Correct. But what we call in vector AB.
Um,
Check it in the question. What we call in vector AB.
OD.
Check it out here. What we
Or
saying that vector AB is.
B.
Correct. So
Well, common B.
I would call this vector what?
Um, B. Two B.
Two?
Common B.
Two common B, yes, that's it there. Right? So yeah, find out was easy.
There.
Yeah, right, nice. So this could just be two common B. Lovely. So we have the main vectors. We go figure out B to C. That's not an issue. We have the main things. So I'm gonna call back Desron. So Desron, they want me to
Yeah.
figure out A to D. If they want me to find for A to D, where am I starting from? A to D. Where am I starting from?
It's starting at that A.
I'm starting at A, and and from A, I want to go to D, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to come like I going like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you have to go around, from A to B and then B to C and then C to D.
that is correct. But hear the drama. Ready to hear the drama?
Yeah.
Do we know what B to C is?
B to C, B to C, B to C. No.
No, no, we don't. Mm-mm. So that's some trouble there. Other than this part, is there another part you could take to go from A to D?
Yeah.
How you could how
We
you
go
could
from A to O.
A to O and
And from O to D.
Yes, that is a correct path. Right? Rihanna, let me know if you understand that. So I want to go
Yeah.
from A to D. Let me write that down. I want to go from A to D.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to go from A to D, so A to D, that would be equal. So I'm starting from A. I can't take this path because I don't know what B to C is. So this path is a no-no. I have to take the other path. So I'm going to go from A to O. And from O, I'm going to go to D. Now, that's wrong. If I go in from A to O, is that the same direction as O to A?
No.
No. So what we had to do with the positive A?
Negative.
Negative, because we change in direction. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Correct. So A to D would be equal to A to O, right? Plus O to D. Now, in the question, they did not give us A to O, but we know that O to A and A to O is the same size, just different direction.
Yeah.
So A to O can be written as minus O to A. This line is optional, right? And what do we know O to A to be? O to A is what vector?
A.
Right. So A to O will be minus A. And what was vector O to D?
O to D is 2B.
Correct. Right, so that's my answer right there. My answer is minus A plus 2B. Let me know if you go with that,
Yeah.
right? Amy, you understand what I did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Amy, see if you could explain what I did quickly.
Since you don't have the vector that go in from B to C, and you
Mm-hmm.
still want to go from A to D, you could take a next path, and you could go from A to O and O to D. But we don't have the vector A to O, but we know that we could find A to O by just inversing the vector. So that's how it would be minus A and plus the vector, which is O to D, which is 2B.
Perfect. That's correct. So yeah. Just keep in mind, guys, anytime you change in direction, you change in the sign. So that's it for that question. I could give all some time to take it on. In general, the steps I want you all to follow at the start of the question, find as much vectors you could find for. You notice that I found for a half A and I found for 2B. So find as much vectors you could start. Find for us. Right. Cool. So I given all you, how much time all you need to copy that down? Let me know.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm going speed. Alicia, how much time you need to take us down? Nicholas.
I don't.
Okay. All right. Bryce.
Ik give Malika about 2 minutes.
No problem. Kristen, drop in the chat. Healy, how much time you need to copy this down?
Just a few minutes.
All right, no problem. I feel like we're missing somebody in class. Or missing Kiara. Ooh, I know Kiara have chemistry lessons, so Desron, you
Yeah.
understand the question now?
Yes, I understand it very clearly.
All vectors is directions. How am I gonna go from that point to that other point? That's all.
Yeah.
So
I
I giving you
understand
all
it very clearly.
so I giving you all 2 minutes. 7 to the 1. Move on to part 2. B to C.
How school going, Richie?
Very stressful, very stressful. I have a test for tomorrow.
Oh, damn.
Hear this, eh? I have a 60-page project. I had to build the circuit down here. I built half of the circuit. I have a I have a lab. I have like 13 pages. That's due
What?
Friday.
I'm going to have to go through that very soon as well. Wait.
Yes, man, you will have to. Like I say, I have the test tomorrow. I have the lab write up to do. I had two quiz. I finished the two quiz before class.
Hmm.
Um, midterms coming. I have a midterm test next week. Then after that, I have finals to revise for, and I looking so
Yeah.
good. Boy, oh boy.
Boy, oh boy.
One of my teachers, he have a thick Indian accent. He teaching the hardest thing right we have to do. Thick Indian accent.
Wait.
And he is the first time teaching. And
Was in
What?
Indiana number.
real Indian accent. Like instead of saying voltage, he says voltage current source.
Wait.
He says voltage, not voltage, Voltage. All kind
That's
of thing.
crazy.
Um and they have a language barrier. So he can't properly explain. And he teaching the hardest thing. The hardest thing possible. For they see that or they go cry. Or they'll be like, what is this? Imagine, imagine pure maths on steroids in physics.
Hmm.
You
Very
doing
Huh.
hard.
electrical?
Yeah, I do electrical engineering, electrical and computer engineering.
Yeah, computer engineering.
Hmm?
The computer engineering going.
Now we will see more of that in semester one and year two.
Alright.
Yeah. Nicholas, you have his copy down, right?
Yeah, I finished longer.
Okay, cool. Bryce, let me know what's going on.
Yeah, done.
All right, nice. Kirsten. Okay, I see you finished.
I
Keely.
finish.
Okay, nice, nice. All right. Let's move on to B to C, right? And Desron, you will explain that to me. And I know you will get
Okay.
it's the same concept, right? How you're gonna go from that point to the other point. I promise you it's the same thing.
From B to C.
Yeah, it's the same
All
concept.
right.
Same concept,
So,
right? Copy. Yeah, so I want you to tell me how would I go from B to C? That means I'm going from what to what? Where am I starting from?
starting at B and then
And
going to
from
C.
all right.
So,
Selma, how going from B?
um, they don't know. I don't know this direction here. I
Now
don't
we
know
don't
what
have
is
the
the
direction.
right. So you have to go. I go from B to A.
You're going good, B to A.
Go from um. You gotta go from A to O
Yeah,
and then O to D.
A to O and O to B. Yeah. Yeah, one more thing though. We want to go from B to
And I
C.
go from D to C.
Yes. Perfect. That was simple, right?
Yeah.
Easy to max. So B to C. So I'm skipping some steps here. Or if you feel like I shouldn't. For the full thing?
Yeah.
Okay. To go from B to
Just to
C,
be safe.
you had to go from B to A, right? So we went from B to A, and what next?
You
B,
gotta go from A to O.
right?
You gotta go from O to D and then D to C.
Lovely. B to A, right? Could somebody tell me, Desron, you tell me. B to A, would that be vector B?
No.
No,
That
what
would be
would it
negative B.
would be negative B because we are
You're changing direction.
exactly A to B is B. A to B is B, but B to A is the other direction, so negative B. What next?
Yeah, to you're taking is negative A now.
right? So negative, I'll put negative A.
plus negative A.
I'll just put negative A,
Okay.
right? Mm-hmm. What
Negative
else?
A, negative
Take your
negative
time.
2B.
Why is it negative 2B? We're going from O to D.
Oh no 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 no.
Are we going in the
It's
direction
2B.
with the 2B?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So we plus 2B.
That's 2B.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have um plus a half A.
That's what we're talking about. Now we have to group together the like terms. So we're going to look at all the A terms and B terms. So you have minus A plus a half A, and then you have minus B plus 2B.
Yeah.
So what is minus A plus a half A?
Um
If it confusing you, you can look at it like this. What is the coefficient here?
we have A.
Let me give you an example of what I mean. If I have 5A, I would say my coefficient is 5. If I
Yeah.
have A, that's understood to be 1A, so my coefficient is 1. So if I have minus A, what do you think my coefficient is?
Um which is 0.
No, that's not 0. You can think of it like minus
Well,
1A. What's the
okay,
number? The coefficient is just the number in front of the letter.
okay.
So where's the coefficient?
1
Say the full thing.
or minus 1A.
Minus 1. The,
Minus 1, yeah.
the number in front of the A is minus 1. So in your calculator, what you could do, right? You could put minus 1 plus a half. Wait,
Okay,
wait.
okay, okay, okay.
So where's minus 1 plus a half?
That's 1 plus half. You're there. Okay, can you tell me? Hold on.
I will put the answer in the meantime, right? Minus 1 plus a half is minus a half A, right? And could somebody tell me? Yeah, that's wrong. What is minus B plus 2B?
That'll be
So wait,
minus 1,
minus 1, yeah, minus 1 plus,
minus 1, plus 2,
right? What's minus 1 plus 2?
1.
Yeah. So minus a half A plus B. That's the answer.
Okay.
Guys, if all I want, all I could write the answer as B minus a half A as well. Same thing with this one. You could write the answer as just put that down with that. Oh, bless you. Could I write it as 2B minus A. In both cases, you'll get the answer correct. Because, Amy, nth addition is commutative.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter how you write it. Yeah, so that's it there. That's Ronnie, you understand that perfectly?
Yeah.
Lovely. So you all could take this down. Nicholas, you understand it good?
Of course.
All right. Healy, you understand this good?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Nice. Um, Bryce, what about you? I don't know if you're feeling okay about this.
Yeah,
So Bryce, I want you to explain it to me. The vector is B, C. So that means you're starting from one point.
from B.
And I go into
C.
right. Now, we don't know what this is, so we had to figure out how we're gonna find that. Imagine like a road. I'm starting from B and I want to go to C. So if I want to do that, tell me how am I doing that? I'm starting from B
Um,
and I'm going to where?
Repeat back what you just said. I didn't hear.
So I'm starting from B and where am I going next?
C.
Ah, do I know what B to C is?
No.
Nah, so I had to take another road. I had to take another path. How would I go from B to C?
Well, B to A,
B to A, what next? After I reach A.
A to O,
Mm-hmm.
and O to D,
What next?
and D to C.
Correct. Right. Now, B to A. Why am I saying that B to A is minus B and not plus B?
Because they go in the opposite direction.
Yes. And same thing for A to O, we're going in the opposite direction, so minus A. O to D now, that's 2B. And D to C, we're going in the same direction in these cases, so we'll just be positive.
Yeah.
Now, when you see part that I think might give all the trouble, simplifying. If you're having trouble, just underline the parts where you're seeing the same thing. So underline where you're seeing B and deal with that first. So in a calculator, you could put minus 1 plus 2, and you get the positive B. You get the positive 1.
Okay.
You confused by that?
Nah.
If I had B,
I
what
probably
is
had to
that?
use a calculator for that, you know.
No, you could use any calculator for that.
For real?
Yeah. Hear what I'm saying, right? Um, in this method, you're using the coefficient. The coefficient is just the number in front of the letter. Let me give you an example. If I had 5x, what's the number in front of the x?
5?
Yeah.
Oh,
You said
yeah,
5?
but 5. Yeah, 5.
That's correct. If I had x, how about that? What's the number in front of the x?
Just X.
Nah. You're not seeing it. But if I ask,
Nah, not
wait, if I were to ask you how much x is you seeing on the screen, what you could tell me?
1
You're seeing 1x.
there.
So what's the number in front of the x? I'm not seeing.
1?
Yeah, 1. 1.
Oh, okay, okay.
So if I have b, that's what's the number in front?
1
Right. If I had minus b, what's the number in front?
minus 1.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Put minus 1 and then plus the 2. And you get the plus b.
Okay, okay.
So watch. I'm not telling you to plug in the b and thing in the calculator, Telling you to plug in the coefficient. So you go put minus 1 plus 2, and that will give you 1. So that means the answer will be 1b.
Okay.
And over here now, that'll be what? If I deal with the a terms. Where's minus a? Where's the coefficient for minus a?
Uh-huh.
Nah, for minus a.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Well, A
It was the same thing for the minus b.
okay.
That would be minus what?
Minus 1
Minus 1, right? Minus 1
plus 2
plus a
plus
half,
a half.
right? And you'll get negative a half. And then you just
Well,
put the a. Right, so that's it. Okay. Unmute. Let me know what's going on. Probably have this copy down.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have a third.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Nice, nice. Desron, we did thought about vectors now. You're supposed to get these marks, sense. And Desron.
Yeah, boy, Ricky, boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy, yeah, boy.
Vectors is one of the most, I feel like, is one of them things you could possibly figure out in the exam. It's not like,
But I started panic a little bit through the exam 2 hours. Yeah, boy, I kind of scared, but I'm relaxing the physics. I'm very relaxing the physics, but the maths I started panic a little bit.
for those who don't know, Desron is at G. He do physics in like 2 months and he get 2. He performed the lab and thing too. Big up Desron. He's the man.
Real.
Yeah, we will not talk about the maths. You're coming for them. You're coming for them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Right. Alicia, Amy, um, you'll have this copy down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, let me look at part three now. Desron, help me with this one as well.
Okay.
Right.
Say the conclusion about for A to D and B to C.
Wait, wait. Oh yeah, Amy, and you know that TikTok? Wait, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Alicia, you know about it too, and I think all of you know about it. Like, wait.
Yes. We have a whole set of TikToks doing it.
So
And anytime somebody say wait, you just finish the lyric.
yes, oh no, they should volunteer to finish the lyrics. Right? Yeah,
Ask Amy.
I go ask Amy. But Amy, Desron said something wrong. Or he didn't say the full thing. Desron, you said A to D. But truth be told, what does it stand for anytime you have two lines? That stands for what? The what of the vector. Anybody tell me?
magnitude.
Yeah, that's the magnitude. Desron,
Yeah,
magnitude is the size of a vector. Size of a vector, right? So you see how we have A and we have B?
yeah.
That's like the size of the vector. Um, yeah. So they want you to state the conclusion about A to D and B to C that can be drawn from your responses in one and two. All right. So tell me, Desron, what was A to B? Sorry, what was A to D? Remind me, what was A to D?
A to D is A to D is minus A plus A plus 2B.
Minus A plus 2B.
Yeah.
And remind me, what was B to C?
We just see is minus a half A
Mm-hmm.
plus B.
Okay. Now I'm gonna draw it on the diagram. This question relates to the last thing we did. We did geometric properties of vectors, and we talked about how any vectors that could be written as scalar multiples of each other would be parallel. And just by looking at it, right? There's run. If I connect A to D, this is A to D, right? Tell me that makes sense, right? A to D.
Yeah,
You find like A to D and B to C pointing in the same direction, like they parallel.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just that B to C looking smaller than A to D, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So that makes perfect sense, right? You look at it and well, you see it. Tell me if all you can see it too. I saying that A to D is parallel to B to C. Nicholas, let me know if you're seeing that. I saying that A to D looking parallel to B to C.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And what was the thing I was saying? How could I prove that two vectors are parallel? If two vectors are parallel, how could I write them? Check back in all your notes. If two vectors are parallel, I could write them as the scalar what of each other. Mm,
The scalar multiple
right.
of
So that
each
means I could
other.
write one of them in terms of the other one. So just by looking at it, um, looking at everything, we could end up saying that A to D is 2 times B to C. I'm not sure how that making sense. Look carefully. Alicia, if I multiply B to C by 2, let me observe what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna multiply B to C by 2. If I multiply B to C by 2, what is minus a half by 2? What is minus a half by 2?
I don't have my calculator here, but I think it's
You don't need a
1,
calculator. You could do it. Minus a half by 2.
mm, 2, wait, no, it'll be -2. Oh, wait, no, -1.
Yeah. So I'll
Okay,
get minus 1a, which is just minus a. And what is 2 by b?
2b,
Hmm. Does that look familiar? What does that look like? What vector does that look like? 2bc.
vector 80,
Right. So that means I could say that a to d is the same thing as what?
2bc,
So can I write them as scalar multiples of each other?
yeah,
So since I could write them as scalar multiples of each other, then the two vectors would be parallel. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Right? So vectors can be written as scalar multiples. So they are parallel. All right. So let's run. Tell me if you're confused by what I just now do. Let's run. Tell me if you're confused by what I just now do.
Um, 2B equals 2BC. Like, repeat it one more time, please.
All right. So let's run. A to D and B to C, just by looking at it, and they're looking parallel to each other.
Yeah.
Which one looking bigger? A to D or B to
B
C?
to D.
A to D. No. If two vectors are parallel, it means that they have the same base, like this, they have the same stem. It's the same vector, it's just we multiplying by some number. Let me explain. If this vector is C, sorry, if this vector is 2C, then this vector will be C. So I'm trying to say, if two vectors are parallel, they're in the same direction, they just have different size. You understand what I mean, Desron? If two vectors are
Yeah.
parallel, they're pointing in the same direction, they just have different sizes.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that A to D is bigger than B to C. But we had to show them by how much. So just by observation, A to D is minus A plus 2B, and B to C is minus a half A plus B. Notice, if I multiply this by 2, what is minus a half by 2? Minus a
Uh,
half by 2. The 2
yo,
and 2 will cancel off.
1,
Positive 1 or negative 1.
-1.
So you're getting negative 1A, and what is 2 by B?
You'll get 2B.
Right. So I want you to make a connection. What is looking like? You seen that anywhere else? A
Mm,
minus A plus 2B. Have anywhere else you see in minus A plus 2B?
yeah.
Where? What about vector is that?
A to D.
Right. So I could say then that A to D is equal to 2 times BC.
Oh,
So by me saying that, I'm saying that in the same direction, AD is just bigger than BC. That's what I'm saying.
okay, I understand now.
And that is what we call scalar multiples. So the question was for 1 mark, so you only had to state one geometric property. But we're going to state 2. So we're going to show them this here. So we're going to say AD is equal to 2BC. And what we had it working to the side here is it working, right? So this is working over here. And because A to D and BC are scalar multiples of each other, they are parallel. So that's one geometric relationship. Um, Desron, according to the relationship here, what is another relationship, like in terms of size? In terms of size, if you compare the two vectors, give my explanation in terms of size.
In terms of size,
We're saying that
um,
A to D can be
B
written
to
as,
C, B to C is half of E to D?
yes. Or reading the question, they're talking about the size. So they really want the second answer we're gonna put. Because if they're talking about size, we have to compare the sizes, right? But this is working you would have had to do. You are not required to write the statement, but you can. Um, plenty work for 1 mark. So this is the answer. You could write A to D is 2 times the size of B to C. So you could write it like that. Or you could say that B to C is half A to B. Anyone you choose.
Okay.
So this over here is the answer. But to figure out the answer, you would have had to do this working. Or, I mean, you could just look at it. If you're experienced and you could see it, you could just jump straight to this line. Because if I'm looking at these two vectors right off the bat, I see in that if I multiply this by 2, I'll get this. Which means that B to C, it taking 2 BCs to make 1 AD. So AD is
Yeah.
2 times bigger than B to C. And you could look at it and see it. Granted, they do enough practice. So copy that down, guys. So the question wanted us to compare the size of the two vectors. That's what this means. This means magnitude or size. So Nicholas, let me know if you've seen it. You seen what I'm talking about when I say that A to D would be parallel to B to C? And Nicholas?
Yes, you know.
And you seen that, well, obviously A to D will be 2 times bigger than B to C.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if that's B to C, you can see how it would take 2 of it to make A to D. So it'll be good. Good. So I'm gonna give all you want to do by yourself. Give me like 10 minutes. As soon as I have this copy down. If anybody confused, feel free to unmute and let me know what's going on. Rihanna, you understand?
Yeah.
Mhm. Right, so unmute when you have everything copied down.
Right done.
All right, nice. What about the rest of you guys? Let me know if you have everything copied down.
Yeah.
Me too, I think.
Mhm. Nice. I didn't hear anything from Amy, Alicia, Haley, Bryce, Kirsten, and Sasha. I didn't hear
I
anything.
have it. Oh, Sasha.
Hi.
I feel like
Like, can
this is
you,
like a long, like always, like living in two different countries, writing letters. The delayed responses. They're trying to say hi, and then 5 minutes pass, and then Sasha respond, and then so always pen pals.
Yeah.
Oh
figure?
yeah. Chili, you have everything copied down?
Yeah, then copy it down.
Sasha, you have it copied down?
Yeah,
Okay, nice. You
Yeah.
joined both late. Um,
yeah, I joined late.
that's okay. When we doing the other question and I correcting it, you go help me. Yeah, Healy. You good to go?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Healy, you understand everything here?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I didn't hear anything from Bryce. Bryce, you good?
Yeah,
Okay, nice. You copying this dancing, right?
yeah, I have everything copied down already.
Okay, cool, cool. So, got a question for you all now. Oh, this is a difficult question. Hmm. But I trust my students. I think you all are very intelligent. Uh, I think all I can figure this out. All I could wait, let me just and guys, don't feel bad if all you do figure it out in the first try. It's fine. We all learning. There's nothing wrong with that. Uh, right, so I can fit the whole question on the screen. Nice. Yeah, so see if I can figure out this. I put part two and part three on the board. Um, Alicia, giving you work. I'm gonna pause the recording, and when we start
Mm-hmm.
correcting, you could just remind me
Mm-hmm.
to start back the recording, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So I want to take somebody else to help me with this question. Des Runaway, pay attention, right?
Yeah.
If anything confusing you, let me know.
All right, no problem. Say no more.
Right? Sasha, you want to help me with the question?
I guess.
All right. If you want to get volunteer somebody to help you. But yeah, let me begin. So I want you to read the question.
In the diagram below, OPQ is a triangle. ARB and AOQ are straight lines. B is the midpoint of PQ. R is the midpoint of AB. OR RP equals 1, 3. OP equals 4A and OQ equals 8B.
Right. Let me understand what exactly happening here. That's an example of ratios. It means that for every one OR, you have 3 RPs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means. Let me give you another example of a ratio. Let me just say for every so 5. So this means that for every, let me just say I'm dealing with a scenario. This means that for every 20 students, I have one teacher. That's what a ratio is. For every 20 students, I have one teacher. So for every one OR, I have 3 RPs. So in this line over here, you're seeing one OR, right? You're seeing one OR. And to make up the R to P, you would need 3 ORs. I feel they make a little mistake over here, but we could figure it out. Because Sasha, and by looking at it, right? Look at it. And it kind of look like it gonna need 3 of
Yeah.
them to make the whole thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me see what we could figure out. They're saying that O to P is 4A, right? So that means I'm going from O to P. O to P,
Mm-hmm.
that's 4A. And Sasha, they're saying that O to R to RP is 1 to 3. It's a 1 to 3 ratio. So what it mean is that to make up R to P, you need 3 ORs. So this could be 1 OR again. This could be another O to R, right? 1, 2, right. Right. So Sasha, let me know if you understand that. So for R to P,
Yeah.
R to P is 3 ORs. So I have 1 R to O here. Sorry. This is 1 O to R. This is 1 O to R. This is 1 O to R. So how much O to R's I have altogether then? See if you can tell me that. Tell me.
4.
I have 4. So to make O to P, right?
Mm-hmm.
To make O to P, how much O to R's we need?
4.
Yeah. So O to P could be written as 4 OR. Right. Tell me if you go with that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Cool. Um, let me see if we can figure out this piece over here. So they're saying that O to P is 4A, have that. And they're saying that O to Q is 8B, right? O to Q, that's 8B. So let me begin. They want me to figure out P to Q. Where am I starting from? P to Q.
You're starting from the P,
Right. I starting from the P and I go into starting from the P.
Q.
Okay,
Well,
nice.
first P and then Q.
Yeah. Yep. So let me get a copy of the diagram. Yeah, so I'm going from P to Q. So if I want to go from P to Q, that's this thing over here. That's what we're trying to find. So to go from P to Q, I'll go from P to O and then O to Q. Some of that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna write that down. P to Q is equal to P to O plus O to Q. Now if O to P is 4A and they're going in the opposite direction, that will make what? What will make the 4A? O to P is 4A but going in the opposite direction. So that will now become
Negative 4A.
negative 4A. And then I go in the same direction as O to Q. So that'll be 8B.
Yeah.
Deshaun, you understand that? That's the first answer. Minus 4a plus 8b.
Yeah, I had that.
Nice. Let me figure out.
That is yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody get that correct. Everybody would have gotten that correct. So nice job there, guys. Nice job. Um, so let me figure out P to R now. And I'm gonna show you how easy this is. P to R, that was real simple. So Sasha, um, P to R, that's this thing over here, right?
Yeah.
Let me understand this. So from O to P, that is 4OR. So if this whole thing, let me understand it, right? If this whole thing is 4A and it's taken and it's taken 4OR, how much you think OR will be? If the whole thing is 4A and it's taken 4ORs, how much you think one OR will be?
One.
One what?
1 OR.
1A.
Oh, 1A.
Think about it. Let me look at this. So I'm saying that O to P is 4OR, right? O to P is 4OR. And
Yeah.
we know that O to P is
Understand it now.
4A. So if I find for O to R, so I would have to divide both sides by 4. O to R is just E. But we could understand it from the diagram. Let me look at it one more time, Sasha. So the whole thing is 4 to A, and it could be written as 4 different pieces. So if I have 4 different pieces, then each piece could just be A, because 4A divided by 4 is just A. So you go with that.
Yeah.
Desron, you okay with that?
Yeah.
You see that kind of one? Try. I'm gonna go with it one more time.
Oh. Well, I think I had the correct answer
Well, see if you can explain it to me. Why am I saying that O to R is A?
because you have 4A's and and the O to R is 1A.
Right. That's
It's come
correct.
like A.
And how much O to R's it will take to make O to P?
O to R, it will take to
Yeah, just by looking at the diagram. How much O to R
three.
count that?
Or four, sorry.
4. 4.
Yeah,
Another way you can think about it. You see how you're seeing O to RP is 1 to 3?
yeah.
Think of it like this. O to P is equal to 4. That means O to R would be a quarter of the whole thing, and R to P would be 3/4 of the whole thing. But the point is, you're going to have 4 parts. And out of the 4 parts, O to R is going to be 1 part. And then R to P is going to be 3 out of the 4 parts. Tell me if you see what I'm talking about. So O to R was 1 out of the 4,
I write it wrong. Eh,
but some of you understand what's going on. So I'm saying
Yeah,
O to R is 1 out of the 4, and then R to P is the other 3, is the other 3.
yeah,
Nice. So if that is the case, then this would be A, this would be A, this would be A, and that would be A.
yeah.
Alicia, you confused by that? Or you understand that?
I understand.
Right. So we basically breaking it up into 4 different sections. And if the whole thing is 4A, then one section would be A, right? So Sasha, O to R is A, and R to P will be how much? Tell me, Sasha. If O
3A.
tell me?
3A.
Yeah, it'll be 3A. So that is R to P. R to P, R to P, if I'm going from R to P, that'll be 3A. So if R to P is 3A, how would P to R be?
I get correct. What?
Negative 3A.
Let's run. I had negative 3A.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. I'll playing around. So let me go through the different methods one more time because these kind of questions come in the exam and tie up some people. So one more time. At the start of the question, they said that O to R to P is 1 to 3. What this means is that if we're looking at the line if the vector O to P, right, to figure out how much parts is splitting it up to, you would add the 1 and the 3. So O to P is 4 parts. Out of those 4 parts, O to R is 1 out of the 4 parts. And R to P would be 3/4. So 3 out of the 4 parts, right? And we know that O to P is 4A. So if O to P is 4A, then 1 out of the 4A would just be A. And for R to P, 3 out of the 4 A's would just be 3A. And when you add them back, you get back to 4A. That's one way you could have looked at it from that perspective. Ratios. The other perspective would have been the common sense approach. Look at it. You see this? You see in the question, they talk about some tree or something. Yes, you see they talk about that. Just by looking at it, you could kind of figure out that to make R to P, you're going to need 3 ORs. So if that's the case, you could split up this vector into 4 pieces. And if the whole vector is 4A, then one piece would just be A. So O to R is A, and R to P is 3A. But in the question, they wanted me to figure out P to R, just in the opposite direction of R to P. So that'll be minus 3A. Yeah. Last part. We'll figure out part 3, R to B. Let's go. So Sasha, let me figure out this one. So Sasha, if I want to go from R to B, where am I starting from? R to B.
Starting from R.
Right? And from R, I go into
Well, to P and then B.
so you want me to go from R to P and then P to B?
I mean, you could go from R to B straight one time.
I can't do that. Let me see if you
So
can do it.
then you do R to P, then B.
Yeah, you gotta do that. Right? So R to P and then P to B. Let's see how we go figure out that. So we say that R to B is R to P and then P to B. Do we know what R to P would be? R to P. What is R to P? Thomas Sasha. R to P.
3A.
Yeah, that's 3A. And now I need to figure out P to B. We're going to figure out P to B. In the question, they said that R is the midpoint of AB, and they said B is the midpoint of P to Q. So if that is the case, right, Sasha, they're saying that B is the midpoint of P to Q. That's what they're saying. B is the midpoint of P to Q. So if that's the case, Sasha, let me just say, imagine if this whole thing here was 4B. What ought I make this then? If that whole thing was 4B, I just saying, what P to B go be?
2B.
This could be 2B and this could also be.
2B.
So whatever the whole thing is, P to B is just half of that. Remind me, do we know what P to Q is? Is that something we found previously? tell me, Sasha, did you find for P to Q?
Yeah.
Right, so we know what this whole vector is. If I want to go from P to Q, that's the full thing. What's our vector again? Tell me the full vector. How are we going from P to Q again? What was the vector I found? Sasha,
Mm,
P to Q.
There's 4A plus 8B.
Minus 4A plus 8B. And that's to go from P to Q. Now, B is the midpoint of P to Q. So since that's the case, I could write P to B. So P to B then would be a half of P to Q. So Sasha, what would a half of minus 4A plus 8B be? Where's a half of minus 4? Yes, Sasha, where's half of minus 4? Even if I ask you, was he half of was he half of 4? Half of 4 is what? So it's almost minus 2, right?
Yeah.
And where's half of 8?
From 4.
Right. So just like that, we were able to figure out for P to B. So we basically have everything we would need.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you understand that?
I think I get the answer.
All right, nice. Say no more.
I get lost along the way, Reggie. I kinda
All right, I'm gonna explain it back, right?
yeah.
So if I want to go, the question was asking me R to B. If I want to go from R to B, I could go from R to B. I mean, I'm starting from R. I could go from R to P, and then from P, I could go to
I go to B.
P to B, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. What we know R to P is. Remind me, what is one of these what is one of these small portions? Remind me. Each
That's
small
one
section is what,
is A.
right? So R to P will be how much? A then,
I 3A.
right? So we found that part already. R to P is 3A. And P to B now. At the start of the question, they said that point B is, what do they say about point B?
Point B is the midpoint of P to Q.
Right. So if we know what P to Q is, all we had to do is find half of that because P to B would be half of the full journey. Tell me if you understand that.
Yeah.
So if I know what the full vector is, then P to B could just be half of the full vector. And I want you
Yeah.
to look at it working. Did we find for P to Q?
P to Q.
Do I know what P to Q is? Check
No,
through your working.
that's not.
I sure you have P to Q in your book.
No. I'm missing something. That's not. Hold on. P to Q is 4?
Nah.
Hold on. That's not. Nah, I lost.
What was part one?
Part 1. Oh! Oh, yeah. What the
Yeah. In
Now
part
you might
one, they ask you
say
the P to Q.
plus
Yeah.
AB.
So
I
P
sleep. When
so P to Q was what?
you
Oh,
give minus 4A
right.
plus 8B.
Right. So if that's the full if that's the full thing, right? Then P to B will just be
Right.
half that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be minus 2A plus 4B.
Yeah. Wait, just confirm. That'll be minus 2A plus 4B. Are we saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that is P to B. So let me just plug that in and you get your answer. So R to P was 3A. So that'll be 3A minus 2A plus 4B. So 3A minus 2A is what? It's 3A minus 2A,
3 minus 2A is 1A.
right? So that A, or you can write 1,
1A.
right? And that's the answer. A plus 4B. That's it. Tell me if you
Yeah,
understand
but
that.
yeah, understand now.
Now that was one way you could have done it. Everybody thinks differently, and that's fine. Let me show you the other way you could have worked it. Um, Amy. Actually, no, let me call Nicholas. Nicholas, we're gonna look at the other solution. Nicholas, is that the only way you could have go to go from R to B?
From R to
Over here, I went from R to P and then P to B. Is that the only way I could have reached R to B? How was the other way I could have go from R to B?
you gotta go all the way around from R to O to Q and then to
Yeah, and this is equally as correct. I'm not working, but correct. Yeah. So Nicholas, R to O. If you go in the opposite direction, R to O would be what?
A.
Nah, O to R is A,
Oh well, minus A.
and O to Q, that's just A to B, right?
Yeah.
And Q to B. Let me look at something, right? In the first part, we found P to Q. P to Q is in that direction. So if P to Q is in that direction, I think you're gonna find a positive half or negative half for P to Q.
Negative.
Negative half, right? Because in different opposite direction. So um, P to Q was minus 4A plus 8B. So Q to B, now Q to B is half the journey, right? But is also in the opposite direction. So we're not just gonna put a half, we're gonna put minus a half. That'll be minus a half of minus 4A plus 8B, which is the full journey, P to Q. So minus a half by minus 4A is what, Nicholas?
Positive 2A.
Right? That'll be 2A. And what is minus a half by 8B?
Minus 4B.
Right. So I have all the pieces to my puzzle. So if I want to go from R to B, that'll be equal R to O plus O to Q plus Q to B. So that'll be equal to minus A plus 8B, right? Plus 2A minus 4B. Right, so Nicholas, group together the like terms from where's minus A plus 2A,
That is A.
right? And where's 8B minus 4B?
4B.
Is that the same answer we got?
Yeah, normal.
Yeah, that was the same answer we get. Right. Any method is correct. Rihanna, you good to go? Rihanna, tell me if you're not gay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice. I think I could make out for one more question or put out for homework.
HW.
Let me hear what everybody had to say. Let me hear what
Yeah,
everybody.
work.
All
How to
right.
do it by
Mm.
myself and send it to you.
Right. Nice. Well, I will send a question for homework, and we're not going to be correcting that question in class because next class is for matrices. If you do the homework and you send the question, I will correct it. Other than that, you're not gonna get the solution. Like, I'm not gonna correct it at least. I mean, you can look up the solution online and correct it, but if you do the work, and I will correct it myself and give you feedback. Right? So, before I end class, anybody need any clarifications by chance? Don't feel ashamed to ask, you know. All are we learning? Even me, I just learn things every day. Anybody want me to clear up anything? Rihanna, you understand both methods?
Yeah,
It's something kind of unsure. This one confused you.
I don't think. But
Let me explain it one more time.
I was already doing the second one, but I don't know, like, I don't know how to get the 2A minus 4B. So I was really confused.
Well, let me explain. Fast. So the other method is to go from R to O, then O to Q, and then Q to B. Right.
Yeah, that the one I was doing.
Nice.
I didn't know B to B.
If I go in from R to O, I go in the opposite direction, so that'll be minus A, you understand that?
Yeah.
I go in the same direction as O to Q, so that's 8B,
Mm-hmm.
and Q to B. I'm gonna
See
take
what in
right?
trouble.
I'm gonna take it in baby steps, right? Baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we found out the start.
The P to Q.
P to Q. What is P to Q?
P to Q is minus 4A plus AP.
Now let me ask you a question. We wanna go in the same direction or the opposite direction.
Opposite.
Right. So let me establish that. They're going in the opposite direction. That's one thing. They're going in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, if we're talking just about length, we're talking about length, right? B is the midpoint. So that's the point between P and Q, right? That's the middle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If let me just say that P to Q was 4, we're not talking about direction, we're just talking about length. If P to Q was 4, what are we gonna make Q to be?
Two.
2. Yeah, right? So the second thing is that um the second thing is that Q to B would be half.
Right.
So we established those two things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would Q to B be half a PQ or half a QP? What do you think? I'm gonna say that one more time.
Yeah.
Would Q to B be half of P to Q or Q to P?
Q to P.
This is Q to P, yeah, right? So actually I gotta explain it like that. So P to Q is minus 4A plus 8B, right? You understand that?
Yeah.
So what would Q to P be? If I go in the opposite direction, the sign's gonna
Change.
right. So we're gonna have to the minus 4A,
Positive.
right? And we're gonna happen to the plus 8B.
Negative.
Yeah. So,
A.
and it makes sense, right? Because Q to
Yeah.
P not going in the same direction as P to Q. So we can't say is That says half of P to Q. It'll be half of Q to P.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would say that Q to B is equal to a half of Q to P, which would be equal to a half of 4A minus 8B. And that's how we're going to get the 2A. The 2A minus the 4B. And that's Q to B. Notice what we did. The first thing
Okay.
I did,
Yeah.
what I did previously, I did everything in one go. Like going back. I find minus a half. The reason I found minus
Yeah.
a half is because I had to find half, but I'm not finding half alone. I also change in direction. So that's why I find minus a half. That was how to do it in one way. If you're taking your
Okay.
time, this is how you could do it. So yeah, you good to go?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Wait, I can copy down that also.
Yeah, no problem. I will send this immediately after class. Alicia, which method you gonna pick? Method one or method two? You like I'll pick method one.
Yeah, method one. I think method two kind of confused me a little bit, like at first, but I understand it now. But
It
method
is
one's still easier.
method one is a lot easier because in method
Mm-hmm.
one, you're picking the easy vector to be going against the direction of. But
Yeah.
in this one, you're not going PQ, you're going Q to P almost. But
Mm-hmm.
in this one, instead of going from actually in this one real easy. It had nothing confusing about this one. Watch, because it going in the same direction as both. R to P is 3A, and then P to B, that's just a half that. That's real easy. Yeah, so method one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I did write it down.
All right, nice. Guys, anybody have questions, don't be scared to ask, I here for you to ask.
Rajiv, I
Oh
don't
my
have a
God.
question.
Look, Kiara.
I've been
Kiara.
here. I
I
don't
like
have
how
a
you say that.
question.
You said I real sassy. I've been here. I've been here.
Yes, I've been here. I don't
Yeah.
have a question on this, but on Mondays, like right before this class, I have a chem class and it is overlap with this class. So that's why I was be reaching late to for this class.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. I understand. Um, be kind of tough to move this date. Hmm. But if I make the class later, that'll be pressure.
No, it's okay. Once I rewatch your recordings, I'll be good.
All right. You understood what we did today? I mean, like, what you see so far?
Well, what I see so far, like I think I understand it, but I'll when I rewatch your recording, I think I'll get like a better grasp.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. All right. Um, well, yeah. Pick a year for me to give all the past people on. Pick a year. Pick a year, guys. January, June. One question, two question. Let me know.
Um,
Okay, January.
January
January,
yeah,
go.
2020.
January, yeah.
January, okay.
You take two.
Two, okay. Maybe I'll do it, If you suggest it, you ought to do it.
No, well, if you give
Yeah,
me
I'll do it
two,
for
you
sure.
should
I'll do
give
it
me
for
one.
sure.
If you give me two, you should give me one from June and one from Jan.
That makes sense. So pick one from January. Pick one from January.
2021.
Huh. It didn't have paper two in that year.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Was it? No, no.
Mm.
Let me check.
Would 2015 be too far back?
No, no, it had 2021, but I just don't have that paper. Um, 2015, you say? No, that wouldn't be too far back. June or January?
June.
All right. Yeah, what's on that question? Wait, but they picking the okay. Here this is Rihanna picked the one year I don't have, and Kira picked the year where the whole the scan is upside down.
Did you figure out you picked the questions, yes?
No, no, I'll pick 2015. Pick 2015. Yeah, so June 2015 and Wales.
Jan 2019.
Jan 2019. Okay. Oh, you pick a real easy question for the vectors.
I was gonna say 2018.
2018. Okay. Yeah, well, since June 2015 so easy, let me check June 2018. Let's see. 2018. Huh? Okay, that question is very similar to the question we did here. I'll give away. Okay, should be able to figure this out. It's a nice question. And what is it for January?
I think yes, yeah, 2019 was easy, so 2018.
No, no, let's see.
That
I
was
said
for June.
2015. I said 2015. June was easy. Well, misunderstanding. Oh, this is a nice question. Yeah, January 2019. Nice question. 6 mark question. Lovely. Yeah, let me send these questions one time. And only gonna do it when I only have time.
Okay, I had a word with you.
All right, no problem. Well,
You'll send the
yeah.
homework and I'll do it and send it to you.
All right, no problem. Well, thanks for coming to class today, guys. I'll see all you Friday, some all you Saturday, Sunday, and then back Monday. Later, everybody.
Really?
Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye.